I'm keeping my Carvana Corvette. I've put 286 miles on this thing in the last week that I've had it. There was a specific reason why I bought this car from Carvana, and that was the fact that I had 7 days to return it if I decided that it wasn't a good enough car. And man, I spent that 7 days completely agonizing over this for several reasons, but I'll explain to you guys why I decided to keep it. Now, before I get to all of the problems, which there are quite a few, I want to tell you guys, you know, I saw a lot of people who have this opinion like you should buy cars from a reputable dealer, as if Carvana isn't one, and say what you will about Carvana. I will tell you that all of these cars, they come from the same place, which is previous owners. Most car dealerships, if not all car dealerships, are just going to these same wholesale auctions and buying the vehicles that go into their inventory, and that is what it is. Now, Carvana does buy cars from private individuals and can put them up for sale, and that can be the argument for some people saying like, hey, the only reason to sell your Corvette to Carvana is because there are problems with it. But there is a whole bunch of other reasons why. Say what you will in the comments down below. I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of opinions about that. But to talk about the reason why I kept this car. Now, I spent just over $60,000, it was 60 and change, on this car. And the reason why is because for the value of this Corvette, this is a 2013 427. So this is basically the Z06 convertible C6 that Chevy never built. That's what drew me to this car, is that it is a rarer spec of Corvettes. A common joke about Corvette guys is that they'll show up to car meets, pop their hood as if they have some sort of unique Corvette, and it's just another C6, C7, C8 that they made $250,000 of during the run of that car. Well, this 2013 427 convertible, they only made a couple thousand of. So this is an actual rare spec, basically halo car of the last year of the C6. But this car also only has 17,000 miles. So for anybody out there who says that I got ripped off, go and look for a 2013 427 with under 20,000 miles, and you will see that 60,000 is actually a pretty fair number. Until, and this is where you get into the Carvana-ness of the deal, the condition of which this one came in. Now, Carvana does a pretty good job of giving you complete views of these cars before you buy them. Mechanically speaking, you're kind of rolling the dice, but cosmetic, you do have a lot that you can go off of. So with this car, they did point out on the rear fenders that there were some minor scratches. They said they were not thumbnail deep. Therefore, I assumed they would just be able to be buffed out. And that was pretty much it. When I was looking at the interior photos of this car for a 13-year-old vehicle, normally you would see a lot of like cracked leather and things like that. So I was able to see the condition of these seats, and I figured this thing had to have been garage kept because there's virtually zero sun damage on any of the leather whatsoever. So I just said, you know what, I'll buy the car and see what happens within that 7 days. Now this car, mechanically speaking, has been absolutely flawless. So I've put 286, I think, miles on it since I picked it up, or since they delivered it. And just going back and forth to work, I've done some polls. And the one thing that I'm the most surprised by, first of all, the thing tracks straight as an arrow. The most surprising thing about this car, as much as the power is great, is just how pleasurable this thing is to cruise. Top up, I expected a lot more wind noise from the convertible. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit louder, I think, than what the hardtop would be. But I mean, not objectionable at all. As a matter of fact, very surprised. Now it is 109 degrees out, so let's do what one does. Turn off the air conditioning and drop the top. Just pop it up. Make sure my camera doesn't get hit. Speed too fast. This car, it's a ripper, and I just absolutely love the top-down experience, and I'm actually really excited for owning this car in Phoenix for the winter time when it is going to be 70 degrees and sunny, or maybe even taking it up to like Sedona. And that was the whole purpose of buying the Corvette, was being able to do things like that. Big reason why I went with a Corvette, sold my 2018 Harley Davidson Heritage, which I loved that motorcycle. My daughter loved that motorcycle. My daughter loves motorcycles. But I started getting to a point where I get real stressed out with her on the bike, as one should. And I wanted to be able to enjoy. She just turned 10 years old. I wanted to be able to go out and do some things with her before I lose those years. And I thought the Corvette just seemed like the right thing to buy for now. Get myself in trouble in this car. So getting into what's wrong with this car. Oh, let's just say Carvana did not do a very good job of accurately depicting the actual damage when they called out things that were actually not a big deal, and there actually was some things that actually were a pretty significant deal. So the tires that came on this 2013 were date stamped 2012, which anybody who's not a car guy out there, you cannot drive on tires that are 13 years old without the potential fear of them just basically chunking into pieces and blowing out those tires, especially softer compound tires that come on something like a Corvette. So not super thrilled about that, but I did put in a warranty claim. I called them Friday night. By Saturday morning, I was in the tire shop and they actually replaced all 4 tires, which I was pretty surprised by because the front tires had a date code of 2022. But let's get to the big dollar stuff. Wait till you guys find out how much this dash is going to cost to get repaired. It is obnoxious. But this was not disclosed in the photos. Now I put an insurance claim in for this, and Carvana is telling me they consider this normal wear and tear on a used car. Basically all you could see in the condition photos, which was shot from like up here, was there's one photo you could kind of make out just about maybe that part there. It looked like dirt. It didn't look like actual curb rash. I think that this happened with somebody going over a speed bump too fast and bottoming out. That's what it appears to be. There is 0 curb rash on the wheels. There's one little spot that you can see they maybe barely rubbed up on a curb, but it's, once you clean it up, you literally don't see it. I don't think that this thing took like a significant side impact by no means. The front splitter, they apparently glued up on here or something. It's pretty bad. I'm going to replace that splitter. Kind of a bummer of how they didn't indicate that, but the real big problem here, you can see the dash pad is starting to peel up, and that is a big problem. A big reason why I could argue that you should go through Carvana to buy a Corvette or any car is because you can actually put in claims against the things that they did not disclose in the photos, which is how, while I got the tires covered, which those had to be covered anyways, they are not going to cover any of the cosmetic stuff on the bottom of the car. They said they want to do that, or the front splitter. But the big one that they said they will cover, and I'm going to say I'm still waiting, stay tuned for how this goes, is the dash pad. I had a shop here that actually took a look at it and said, you know what, we actually can do it. The problem is we need to give it a quote that basically covers us to have to replace the leather completely. And in order to do that, they quoted $8,934. So what is Carvana going to do about the dash pad? I don't know. They said they're going to cover it. Are they actually going to come up to bat and cover an $8,900 dash? I hoped so, because I decided to keep this car. My 7 days is now up, and I did that based on the fact they said they were going to replace it. And if they replace it, this car is worth every bit of $60,000 in the used market, especially with new tires, dash pad being replaced. And then the only thing I need to do is worry about touch up on that sill and the front splitter. And the front splitter isn't really the big deal because I plan on driving this car anyways, and I can assure you that I'll probably scrape it on something in the next few years. So that said, I'm keeping the Corvette. I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff coming up with this car. I'm going to be getting the brakes redone here very, very soon, which I'm excited to get these wheels off, clean them up real good because they hadn't been cleaned for what had looked like years, and get these nice red calipers cleaned up. Switch to a brake pad that should give off way less dust, keep these things a little bit cleaner, and start getting into it, start getting after it, tearing the heads off, getting those out for repair. And once that's done, I'll feel a lot more comfortable getting out and doing a proper drive on this thing once I know that mechanically all of the fluids have been changed. I'm going to go through and change out transmission, clutch, brake fluid, coolant, all of the fluids that I'm assuming are 13 years old in this car. I'll be getting those flushed out as well. And then once I get the heads done, which I'll be doing again, taking them off, reinstalling them myself, all on this channel, stay tuned. It's going to be quite the series doing that. With that said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.